Ahmet, hello.
Hello, man.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Very well. I appreciate you jumping on today, mate. I know you're often in between countries, so I appreciate you
Yeah.
having some time out. But yeah, for the purpose of today, I kind of just want to catch up with you and talk to you about your experience working directly with myself over the last kind of few months. So, yeah, why don't you first and foremost just introduce yourself, let everybody know who's watching, who you are, and what it is you do.
Yeah. So, hey everyone. My name is Ahmet Khan. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about like generally self-improvement, mindset, mainly for like young people. And I wanted to build like an actual business behind my brand for a long time because I had some audience, but I didn't know how to monetize my audience, and that's why I keep Sean in the first place. And we had some good results till from that point.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll dive on in to those results very shortly. So, yeah, appreciate the introduction. So, why don't you, yeah, why don't you cast your mind back to when we first started working together and tell everybody what life was like? Obviously, you mentioned you've been making content, had an
Yeah.
audience, not really monetized. So, yeah, why don't you cast your mind back and tell everyone what life was like before
Yeah.
we embarked on this?
So, I'll tell you guys the entire story, which is I had this YouTube channel that was around like 50,000 subscribers back then. And the thing is, I wasn't making any like consistent income with my channel. It was like whenever sponsors reached out, whenever I had some freelance work going on in terms of like, editing videos and stuff like this, and income wasn't really consistent. But like I was 19, and when you're 19, you don't really have to make a lot of money, stuff like this. But I wanted to do YouTube and I wanted to have no financial like worries in the back end, and that can only happen by you selling your own thing. And I didn't know what I was gonna sell. I didn't know how to, sell without being salesy. I didn't know how to, monetize the audience. I didn't know what I could sell in the first place, even. And thus, I wasn't making the money that I should have been making on my channel. Like built like this YouTube channel for like 3, 4 years, and I wasn't making enough money. And one part of the story, maybe if Sean doesn't want me to tell this, is I literally edited videos for Sean for like a straight year. And I had like 40, 50,000 subscribers back then. And you would guess that I was making a lot of money. In reality, I was just editing videos for Sean. Why? Because I didn't have my actual business in the back end. And Sean helped me with that a lot.
Mm.
And we've come to a good place now where I don't have to worry about like financials too much. I can travel. I have 2 employees now in my business, and I can do talk about whatever I want on YouTube, and I'm making money from that, which is just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like only yesterday you were doing all my editing. And yeah, I think it's very interesting, isn't it? Because I think typically we see someone with a large audience and we think, wow, like they must be making a lot of money. They must be doing really well financially. And often, as you well know, it's not the case. I see people all the time, 20, 30,000 followers on Instagram and things, and they haven't packaged up their knowledge in a way to, monetize that audience. So yeah, I appreciate the honesty, and I think, I think it's a misconception. I think it is a huge misconception just because someone has a huge following that they're making tens of thousands of pounds. So yeah, so in terms of yourself, obviously you had the audience, you weren't monetizing it. Was there any kind of personal things that you were struggling with, or would you say it was just strictly business before we started working together?
Well, I think the answer to this question is going to be always there was some personal things going on, and I think the personal things affected the business a lot. You
Mhm.
know, it wasn't that I didn't know how to build a business. Also, I didn't know how to build a business. Plus, I was scared of kind of like doing it. I was like, you talk about self-sabotage a lot, and that's exactly what I was doing. I felt like I couldn't monetize what I knew. I felt like what I knew wasn't, worth it. And all these like personal stuff, such as I was self-sabotaging myself pretty much. I was telling myself, I want to build a business, but let's not do it now. Let's continue like just doing like some freelance work. Let's get more subscribers and then we'll start. Let's grow
Mhm.
the channel even more and then we'll start. I was just keeping myself back. And when I started working with you, we just directly stopped doing that. Had the offer. This is how you sell. This is how you get started. And then boom, I think in the first a couple of weeks, I had like my first 4 clients, which was
Yeah.
like in the beginning was insane.
Yeah, yeah, it still makes me smile to this day, just hearing stuff like that. And the reason I it makes me smile so much, and I just want to be very transparent with you, is you just went away and did exactly what I said to do. And I mean this now, and I've said this to you, and I say this all of the time. I have said the things that I say to you to five, six, seven, eight different other people, friends, family members, who all want to start a business, who all want to do these things, but nobody takes action on them. Nobody. You clearly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, you clearly seen me and thought, okay, he seems to be, gaining clients. He seems to be doing really well. I'm just going to listen to him and I'm just going to do as I'm told. And like you said, within the first kind of 4 weeks, you already had your handful of clients. And that's why it makes me want to just reach through the screen sometimes and shake people because, I'm like, I told you what to do. Even these days now, inside of the Slack community, I mentioned to someone the other day, have you done what I told you to do 2 weeks ago? They said no. And then I said, okay, well, immediately after this call, go away and do what I told you to do. 2 days later, they messaged me and put on the Wins channel, just got another client from doing what you told me to do. So, so yeah, it's frustrating. And I mean it in the nicest possible way. You just want to reach through the screen and shake someone because you can see their potential. But yeah, it really does bring a smile to my face. And that was the first 4 weeks. So why don't we get into the magical stuff? So obviously that was in the first 4 weeks. You got your first kind of handful of clients. Why don't you tell everybody else what you was able to accomplish after 4 weeks?
Yeah. So by the way, the story of the 4 weeks is basically this. Sean told me before you actually start monetizing what you know, first actually give people like some free, stuff so that you have proof that what you know already works. Like
Hmm.
without that proof, you're not gonna make any money. And I started doing that, and I had like 10 clients that were free clients. I was working with like 10 people,
Hmm.
and I directly told them, yeah, it's gonna be like only 2 weeks of working with me, and it's gonna be fully free. After that, you can do whatever you want. And right after that, those 2 weeks ended, and four of them out of those 10 people, might be like eight, nine people as well, started paying me to
Hmm.
continue doing what I was doing with them. And then right after that, I wasn't actually like until that point, I wasn't really telling on my channel, I'm doing this, I have this business. It was like I'm gonna do this for 10 people for free, and four of them transitioned into clients. And then I had proof of concept that what Sean told me was working, and
Hmm.
then that gave me the power, that gave me the confidence that I could go on my channel and say, this is what I sell. You can book a call with me. And the moment I did that, I had a lot of people booking calls, and obviously couldn't close some of them. Some of them were not good fits. Some of them I wasn't prepared for the call. All of these things happened, obviously.
Hmm.
But then in like 3 months in total, we went up to in like 13 clients in total.
Yeah. 3 months, 13 clients. Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I can't kind of illuminate that enough. I have a close friend who is really brilliant at fitness. He's so strong, he's so educated, and I've told him to go away and do this. And I've shared this story with you. I've shared this with you in the past. I told him, go away and do this, deliver value, help people, do it for free with the intention to get better, to learn, to try and improve, to just gain knowledge, like find out what people's problems are, the pain points, and then at the end, get a testimonial, get some form of, like you said, proof of concept, and then say, hey, do you want to keep doing this? This is what it's going to cost. And you'll be surprised at the amount of people that are like, yeah, hell yeah, this is great. This has been really helpful. So yeah, I mean, I love sharing your story with people because I'm not here like waving a magic wand. There's no magic potion. Like you just said then, and I love the honesty as well. You jumped on sales calls, got things wrong, people weren't the right fit, you weren't prepared. But all of this is part of the entrepreneurship kind of journey, and you learn so much more actually doing things imperfectly instead of waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action. So, yeah, thanks for the honesty, man. And honestly, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm looking forward to what the next few months bring too. But yeah, well, why don't you yeah, this will be really helpful. We of course speak to a lot of people every day, every week, every month. We get people on calls all of the time, and a lot of them are apprehensive. They see the results on Instagram and they're thinking, oh, something seems a bit fishy here, seems a bit too good to be true. So why don't you share just honestly, excuse me, what your advice would be to those people that are perhaps on the fence thinking about working with us?
Yeah. What I would say is, the thing is, like working with you is not cheap, it's not like it's actually very high quality, and thus it's very expensive, right? And the thing is, people have to ask themselves, what I have been doing so far. has it actually been working? And if it's really, really working, if the guy's like really crushing it and killing it, maybe there is no need. But if it hasn't been working, you got to change your ways and you got to try something different. And
Hmm.
that trying something different can be literally anything. Trying a different type of like marketing for a business, different type of like sales. But generally, what people need is, I feel like, because that's what I needed, is the right, person to tell them what to do. You
Hmm.
know, it's more like, well, I want to build a business. I wanted to build a business, but I didn't know how to.
Hmm.
And instead of me continuing for months and months and months and months of still not knowing how to build a business, why it makes so much sense to actually, get into your coaching and then you showing me the right way and then me getting results like directly next week. Because I remember the time that I was sending you the wire transfer, which was the highest amount of money I've ever paid for something ever in my life.
Hmm.
And I made the money back in 1 month.
Hmm.
And then I was still in the program. I could still get value. I made the money back in 1 month. Why?
Yeah.
Because what you told me worked.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the interesting thing is you never really want to make the investments. I mean, at myself with my coach, I spent 10K. I never woke up and thought, oh, I really can't wait to spend this $10,000. Like that, it just doesn't happen. But I knew I needed to do that for support because there was somebody further ahead than me. So yeah, I appreciate the transparency and the just being very honest because like you said, it is a big investment. But the fact that you made the investment back within the first 4 weeks, is it speaks volumes. And the exciting thing is, Amit, for me, I don't know about you, I feel like we're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I feel like I look at entrepreneurship as like 10-step journey. Let's say I'm on the first step.
Hmm.
Let's say jump into the second step with you, but we have like 8 more steps to go.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, strap in. Looking forward to the next few months. Thanks for your time today.
Always, man.
Cheers.